Pro Football Famer and Club Shay Shay host Shannon Sharpe is being sued for $50 million, and he's being accused of SA and battery.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So this story came across my desk earlier today in regards to this new lawsuit, $50 million lawsuit that Shannon Sharpe is facing, and he's now speaking out as well. But first, our friends over at US Today are letting us know what exactly is coming out in regards to the story. So they say Pro Football Hall of Famer and media personality Shannon Sharpe is facing a new lawsuit accused of SA and battery and engaging in intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit was filed on Sunday in Clark County, Nevada, and obtained by the US Today Sports. The plaintiff, listed under the alias of Jane Doe, said that she was in a relationship with Sharpe for nearly 2 years, and it began as a rocky, consensual relationship. The woman, who's seeking $50 million in damages, said that she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles gym in 2023 when she was 19, and alleges in the lawsuit that Sharpe, who's currently 56, SA'd her twice, and once in October of 2024 and again in January of this year. Sharpe flew into fits of anger when plaintiff noted his infidelity to their relationship, or called him out about his extraneous activities, the lawsuit said. What had once been manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Doe's apartment complex without her permission. Ooh. The woman says that Sharpe became violent over the course of the relationship, threatened to unalive her during one incident, and recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. There's more that we need to talk about in regards to that. Sharpe made it clear what Doe wanted was of no moment then Sharpe would get what he wanted, when he wanted. In October of 2024, Shannon Sharpe violently SA'd the plaintiff on 2 separate occasions in Las Vegas, ignoring her requests to stop, the lawsuit says. Jane Doe is represented by the attorneys Tony Busby and Micah Nash. Busby was a part of the legal team that won settlements against Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson after more than 2 dozen massage therapists accused him of sexual misconduct. Tony Busby is also the attorney that is representing multiple, over 120-something alleged Diddy victims. He also lost a battle against Jay-Z recently that was tied to one of the Diddy victims, alleged Diddy victims. So they said Sharpe, a 3-time Super Bowl winning tight end, has his own successful podcast, Club Shay Shay, and makes regular appearances on ESPN's First Take. It was reported last week that Sharpe is eyeing a new podcast deal in the excess of $100 million, which is why a lot of people are saying that this story is coming out now. But let me read to you what Shannon Sharpe said in a statement in regards to these accusations. So a statement by Lanny J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe. So in the statement from Shannon Sharpe's attorneys, they're literally showing text messages that was received from this person. And here's the thing. Because they put this out, they've made the victims, the alleged victims' name public, even though she's in the lawsuit as Jane Doe. So the person is Gabriella Zuniga. This is, again, being released by Shannon Sharpe, which I don't know what will happen in regards to releasing this information, where the text message says, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're screwing me." This was a text message to Shannon Sharpe, October 7th of 2023. Another text message says, "I know you missed this big juicy," we can't say that, $25,000 for each cheek. Gabriella Zuniga in a text message to Shannon Sharpe on January 1st of 2025. This is his proof in regards to that. So the statement continues. It says, "This lawsuit filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It's filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed." It doesn't help her story that Tony Busby's tied to this, just because he really has his credibility is waning in these courts and also in public opinion. In an effort to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of consensual sexual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Ms. Zuniga has refused to provide a copy of the full, unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Ms. Zuniga's own explicit texts to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her, but with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual sex continued until January 2nd of 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted above for her text message to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of text from Ms. Zuniga. For example, they say, "Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want." To me, the text message from Gabrielle Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe from November 23rd of 2023. She also says, "I want to put my tongue in your," can imagine, "and then marry you." Text message from Gabrielle Zuniga to Shannon Sharpe, January 12th to 2024. Another text message says, "That's my daddy." They blanked that out. "I want you to put a big black baby in me." This sounds like, because Zuniga, I don't want to assume she might be Latin, but this terminology, and Shannon, you had no problem with her saying these things to you? Some people are into that, I guess. "You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me," she sent in a text message August 11th of 2024. The statement continues. It says, "These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Ms. Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Ms. Zuniga. The edited tape that Ms. Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe after her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of this editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the sexual activity was not consensual. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all a part of her plan set up as a part of her blackmail scheme, as distorted by her edited tape, a copy which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations or coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of grape. We're changing the word, of course, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false allegations vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and law." So our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk says that these allegations from this woman came after he was caught on live with member Michelle. So the Neighborhood Talk says details are now emerging about the SA lawsuit filed against Shannon Sharpe, the woman who goes by the name Jane Doe, which has been exposed by Shannon Sharpe, claims that she met Shannon at a gym in LA, which we've talked about, when she was just 19 years old. So according to the recently filed lawsuit, Jane Doe alleges that during her 2-year relationship with Shannon, he would exhibit controlling and manipulating behavior. She claims that became turbulent between the two shortly after Shannon was caught on live having sex with a woman named Michelle. She says when she confronted Shannon about it, he became irate and told her that he would do whatever he wanted to do. Then shortly after, he allegedly broke into her apartment to show her that what Doe wanted was of no moment, that Sharpe would get what he wanted and when he wanted, which is what we mentioned previously. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, the lawsuit states, but Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing unalive you, I'll say." So here's the thing. I can't even imagine, to be honest with you, again, because when we saw this accidentally, Shannon Sharpe go live and he sounds like he was having sex. Can you imagine if you are in a serious relationship with someone and you know that's not you and this is happening? I can't even imagine. Again, I can't even imagine dating someone that's 19 years old, but that's me. Guys, as always, do you think that this is a shakedown, especially with Tony Busby being associated with this case? At this particular point, I think as an audience, we also have to understand that just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that this is impossible, that someone can't take advantage of you, can't SA you or grape you in a relationship. That happens in marriages, unfortunately. And unfortunately, a lot of times victims don't come forward because they're in a relationship or they're in a marriage. So that is also a possibility. I'm not saying that Shannon Sharpe is guilty. I'm giving you both sides of this in regards to why we need to keep an open mind and see this play out to the end. But Shannon Sharpe says that he is going to fight this. And I'm thinking with the situation with Jay-Z, this has inspired people like Jay-Z and Shannon Sharpe to fight these cases, no matter the cost. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to the news that Shannon Sharpe is facing a $50 million lawsuit from an alleged former girlfriend accusing him of SA and more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.